Master John, Master Tian, and Master Tsai, and all Taukin, good evening. Tonight, once again, our Master Tsai will provide us her compassionate guidance. 咱此来自要请咱的蔡典传师给咱慈悲示导。Now let us invite our Master Tsai for her compassionate guidance.
今仔日开班吼，迄天主甲顶礼拜无啥早上，因为咱有插播一个吼一个视频，请璇璇小翻译一个。
Good evening, everyone. Sequence tonight is a little different from our previous ones because tonight we started with a video. Later, we will try to explain what the video was about.
开班呢，最呢，向我头水感谢天文书蝶，感谢祖师红烛，感谢师尊师庙蝶，感谢老前人甲各位点传师慈悲栽培。好，向我今仔有这个机会，踮咧遮甲各位道尊做伙来学习做人的道理。
Thank you to Heaven's Grace and to Teacher's Virtue and to the compassion of our 师尊 and 师母 and to our 老前人 and 元老前人 and all the transers for giving us tonight the opportunity to hold this lecture.
当然上较要紧是爱感谢吼，咱敬爱的周典传师、甜点传师，甲咱各位道亲，互晓有这个机会。
Most importantly, we have to thank our 周典传师 and 甜点传师 for giving us this opportunity tonight.
各位道亲真人大家，吼。
Also, everyone in front attending the Zoom tonight.
那无各位道亲吼。投入做伙来投入这个入门迄个开班吼，咱都唔知咱道路要安怎办，因为疫情的关系。
So without everyone attending the classes here, we do not know how our Tao affairs will be developing because of the pandemic.
日子也过啊真紧吼，即摆已经疫情的第2年咯。
Time flies very fast. It's already the 2nd year of the COVID pandemic.
咱嘛唔知影什么时阵会当得到自由，佮去世界大人开班。
And we can never tell when this will end and when we can be free enough to go around and to invite people to receive the great Tao.
咱每一个有领命的点传师拢会真正感觉阮真正阮的吼真正烦恼啦，烦恼就唔知要哪办。
All the transers who has received the heavenly mandate are all very troubled on how to continue conduct lectures for our talk.
讲迄个疫情结束以后，道路唔知变什么款。
And that if ever the pandemic will end, how our Tao affairs will be developing.
所以向我今仔日要甲各位道亲做伙学习的题目叫做固本创新、永续开展、愿力再起。
So tonight, the topic that we are going to share with everybody is to stabilize foundations, sustainable development, and resurgence of the power of Vow.
那么大家拢知影，即嘛真困难啦，不管是先天的也好，后天的也好，拢有较困难淡薄。这几年会较困难，会当要继续到偌久，咱拢唔知影，拢阁是一个问号。
So we all know that these past years we are all going through all the difficulties, whether for heaven or for our heavenly duties or for our worldly duties. We all do not know how it will be developing.
第二章录影，第二章投影带。Next 对外口这个世界这么大的变动吼，咱内心咱内在迄个根本，袂做你变，唔是干那袂做你变，一定要更加坚固。
So because we are facing so much difficulties, we should make sure that our inner heart should not be changed because of our environment, and it should be getting more sturdy.
咱更加坚固的时阵啊，咱才有可能行出咱的困境。
Because it is only when we are being sturdy that we can go out of our difficulties.
所以咱今年度基础道务中心宣布讲，咱道务的方针就是拄啊咱所念的几年固本创新、永续开展、原力再起希望大家有更加大的大动荡。
So for this year, 2021, the direction of our Tao affairs is the title that we have mentioned a while ago, which is to stabilize our foundation with sustainable development and to resurgence of our power of vow. That we wish that everyone will take on great responsibilities.
Next. 下一张。咱迄个道中心嘛，即摆嘛，愈来愈因拜无共款，因拜领命的点传书拢是大部分是一般的生理人今年度、旧年度领命的3位点传书内底，也有医生，也有大学教授，嘛会做迄个影音传播工作的迄个专业人员咱即摆道场会对时代update 咱有更加坚强的迄个环务的迄个背景。
So this year we have 3 newly appointed masters, and the 3 of them have different backgrounds. While before, most of the Tiantrances were from the business world. Most of them were businessmen. But this year, these 3 Tiantrances, one of them is a doctor, the other is a professor, while the other one is an audio communication personnel. So it is that we are wanted to go with the flow of the time and to meet the changes that we are meeting.
咱即摆道场内面的迄寡要紧的迄个干部拢是会当得到咱时代的迄个角色。
So mostly the personnel in our temple are mostly people who can go with the modern times.
那么3位点传书内底有2位点传书今年做2首道歌就是一首是用咱人话唱的，叫做大担当。一首就是咱顶礼拜咱教唱的迄条，用国语唱的，愿力在起。
So one of our Tiantrances, the one with audiovisual skill, made 2 new songs for us, and one is the big responsibility, which is in local Chinese pronunciation, and the other is the Yuan Li Zai Qi, the one which we were learning for the past 2 weeks.
这个愿力在起咧就是讲咱鼓励咱大家，更较大的愿力来大家做伙担这个困难的点钟，甲这个道务做伙甲创造更加理想的。
So the Yuan Li Zai Qi is encouraging every one of us to take on, to make great vows, so that our Tao affairs can go on with the changing times.
那么迄个大东灯这首另外一首咱人话唱的迄个道歌，就是讲咱修道人有一个真正坚强的迄个金架头shoulder象征的代志，咱拢愿意担起来。
And for the song, the great responsibility, it tells us that Tao cultivator should have a sturdy shoulder to carry the different duties and affairs of Tao.
因拜早前的修道的人为着众生伊牺牲家己嘛不要紧。这个好像下一个 slide， 下一张对古早的修道人为着众生牺牲家己嘛不要紧。
So before the ancient times, the cultivators were all willing to sacrifice themselves for the Tao cultivation.
咱就是讲，迄个是因拜的人。
We thought that it is only true to the ancient people.
不过吼，即马4月份发生一项代志，咱大家感觉讲毋是安尼。即马现代的修道人嘛，会用为着众生牺牲家己。
But with the accident that happened last April in Taiwan, we now realize that it is not only the people during the early times that were willing to sacrifice themselves for the sentient beings, but still, even in the present time, there are still people who are willing to sacrifice themselves for everybody.
拄啊，咱放的迄个吼，就是咱台湾的动物中心线着就学的吼，希望咱伫咧开班的时阵放的各位就亲看的。这位是一个吼33岁的迄个清口的少年道亲kend道，是一个为父大主。
So the video that we saw a while ago was the one that our Tao Center in Taiwan has sent to Art and Transfer for all of us to see. And it is about a Tao cultivator who is an assistant shrine owner. He is only 33 years old.
伊伫捌当地就食菜啊，所以是胎来素的道亲。
He's been a vegetarian since the time when he was still in the womb of his mother.
嘛，对细汉到大汉啊，拢伫咧道场大汉的。
And he grew up practically in the Tao temples and doing Tao affairs.
真少年都33岁啊，伊伫咧迄个吼，台湾的迄个一个算讲半政府的机关，叫做台湾铁路局，互伊做迄个火车吼，毋是迄个路卡的火车，是 express 快速的火车，毋是高速的，是快速的火车的司机员。
Even though he is still very young, only at 33 years old, he was already accepted and was a train driver of a Taroko Express train, which is not an ordinary train, but it is an express train of the Taiwan Railways Administration.
4月的时阵，4月初2吼，迄阵拄台湾的迄个长的迄个假期，连续4、5天的假期吼。火车真侪人咧坐火车，转去伊的故乡咧扫墓，发生一条真大条的迄个accident，一顶火车坐490几个人，那么经过2个崩坑的时阵，顶悬山一顶迄个dump truck 落落来，伊要挖出来迄个崩坑，挖出 tunnel 的时阵 ，driver 无看到，怎啊去弄到迄顶迄个。dump truck 规顶的火车就那变。
So last April 2, the transportation of the train was on its peak because it was a long weekend for the Taiwan people. Because on April 6, it would be a celebration, a day like our All Saints Day here in the Philippines, where everybody wants to go home and to light incense and clean up the graves of their loved ones. So on that day, April 2, it was a very busy day. So many passengers on the train. There were 494 people on the train. And then when it was going to pass through between two tunnels, the railway, which was on the curved shape, they suddenly met an accident where a dump truck from above fell down and blocked their way, and the train was bumped into the dump truck, and the accident started.
本来这个 accident 会更加大条，但是因为这个driver 是咱这个尊敬的这个少年道亲，33的这个道亲，伊用伊性命最后迄个4 second 伊4秒钟，硬甲打迄个 brake 在迄顶车无变甲遐尼厉害，无遐尼侪人过身，但拢总49个人过身，当然100几个人受伤。所以，若毋是因为伊有遐尼大的担当，遐尼大的责任感，用伊最后4分钟去打迄个 brake 的时阵，即条代志可能毋是干那安尼尔。
And the accident, as they found out that it should have been a much greater accident. It should have been a much bigger disaster for that all those who were on the train. But it was because of the driver who had took on the responsibility to take care of the passengers, that he used his last 4 seconds of his life to use up all his energy to step on the brake, to manually step on the brake of the train. That's why the accident only had 49 deaths and around 200 people injured. But was it not for him, there should have been more people injured and killed.
所以呢，真人讲，这个囡仔，这个少年岛军，是来顶这个劫数的，来担这个劫数的，来担当这个劫数，所以是牺牲家己去救众人。
And their senior master said that this man is sent here to us to take on that great responsibility and to help and save the people. That's why it was said that he had very great, he took on a very big responsibility of saving the people.
在台湾的迄个社会对这个咱一贯道的岛军有遐尼大的担当的时阵嘛，对咱真正肯定，真正认同。
And after the people knew that the man was a member of I-Kuan, people had great respect for our organization.
那拄到死的时阵呢，甘愿牺牲家己，若要救众人，这款的情形，就是咱对这位岛军少年岛军顶悬来学着。
So the spirit of sacrificing himself in order to save other people is something that we all should learn.
所以咱讲叫做大担当啦，当用咱的肩架头去担着众生的性命。
That's why we call it a great responsibility, because we are willing to use our life in order to save others.
咱天道，咱一贯道非常的好，拢是教咱一寡圣贤的道理。
So I-Kuan is really good because what it is teaching us are all the teachings and learnings that sent and passed on to us from our sages.
大家就是修心养性，家己创真清净。
So we should all learn to learn from what they taught us, and that we should be most steady enough to carry out what is being taught to us.
有时阵拄着大代志、大劫数的时阵、大灾难的时阵呢，咱一贯道伫个这个劫数内面会发挥伊真大的功能。譬如说，咱都上一章，顶一上面迄个愿力道歌愿力在己呀，搁一个顶管。在上面，道歌愿力在其呀。上面。
slide 5。
不是。道歌愿力在其呀，嘿。
5。
我切掉了，一直切掉。加，
好，加好。咱今年阵啊。台湾几啊个月规年无落雨，搁无落去的时候出大代志。结果4月16的时阵气化这嘛有记着台湾道务中心的通知，讲4月16到5月初1所以检察署爱烧大饼香啦，爱求看台湾会紧落雨无？台湾伫遐呢，台湾迄个检察署嘛共款，伊嘛逐个下一个大愿来，咱即摆来看一个因迄阵救雨的大愿是安怎发的？咱来看这个录影带。
So last April 26, we received a message from Taiwan that we should all pray for rain to come down to Taiwan, because without rain, if it continues to have no rain, some big calamities will also happen. So here we will see a video on how the prayer for rain is done. 有无吧？
无即马是都
唔对，
哦，咯，有呢？
啊对对，
其余一是奏乐。作为为镇江全族人生，攻读其余著，
小大朋友，
垂下四年，今有一职，恶报信，
念标文，家己报家己的名。
移花新任，
标文写讲吼，大家要自己发愿，求老母娘大慈大悲祝福台湾。
祈求上苍早日降雨，大地土施甘霖，
风调雨顺，在劫远离，国泰民安。拜1000颗手。
反正这个 stop 了。
好，你这是答了，好，安尼好好，就是拜1000颗手以后，这个标文学了无偌久，这愿大家发了无偌久，毋是敢若因发了尔，所有一贯道的点传书拢总发，无偌久咧，就开始落雨啊。
So after the prayer and after 1,000 vows, it is not only the Tianchuansis or the Taoqing in Taiwan that made that prayer, also all the Tianchuansis around the world all made prayer and made vows. So after after it happened and after it is done, rain started to fall in Taiwan.
实在无求雨袂用的啦，水坝拢无水啊。
It is impossible to not pray for rain because there is no more water in the dams.
结果一个拜掉滴咯，未到5月初1咯，就开始落大雨啊！即慢慢要有要落雨。
So it was done on April 26th, and on May 1 it started to rain, and then it is still continuing to rain until today.
为什么会当安尼呢？因为大家无私心嘛，就是要求讲紧落雨，上天慈悲紧落雨，互咱即个国家会当国泰民安，远离灾劫。
So
这愿啊呢，这大愿。
It was possible because everyone made a great vow and sincerely from their heart, and that everyone vow and ask for the country to be prosperous and that people can live in the place with happiness and peace.
拢无为家己，干那为众人安尼哦，有这款的心，拢无为家己，干那为众，拢无为家己，干那为众人。做发这个心的时阵吼，几啊万点传书安尼做发的时阵，就这个会当感动上天吼，有当落雨，水坝开始佫有水啊。
So everyone made vows not for themselves, but for the general public, for the good of everybody. So after making the vow, it was really heard by heaven, and it started to rain, and the dam started to be collecting water again.
下一张投影片。那什么叫做咱今仔为什么讲固本创新呢？下一张投影片。那为什么爱固本创新呢？为什么要固本创新？因为咱这个点钟咧收办道，讲好收办也真好收办，讲歹收办也真歹收办。但是咱收到了，一定要真正传统、真正古典，咱办道爱真正现代，才好多配合。
So what is the meaning of stabilized foundation, and to bring forth new ideas? It is that cultivation of Tao should be in an ancient and classic way at the same time, and while propagation of Tao must be done through the modernized way.
好，下一章哈，固本就是讲爱甲咱本来有迄个根本，吼，敢若一丛树啊，迄个 root， 爱甲伊固用，以后才我都传落去。
And when we want to stabilize our fundamentals or when we want to stabilize our fundamentals, it is to stabilize it to be handed down be handed down to our next generations.
好，因为敢若本就敢若树啊，迄个根啊，树啊的根啊无用的时阵，一丛树是无法度大丛，无法度用啦。
The fundamentals are like the roots of a tree. When the roots are not sturdy, it cannot hold on to the leaves and the trunk and also the small parts of the tree.
啊，无根本啊，就无法度继续落去，传袂落去咯。
When there is no foundation, it cannot go on.
啊，无创新也袂一哩啊，因为外口的世界环境定定迄个会变。
And also we need also innovation, because without innovation, we cannot go with the continued changes of our environment.
好，因摆真人导人是行路啦，骑脚踏车去导人。啊，即摆的人要导人的是开车、坐飞机、坐船，完全无共款的速度。所以咱迄脚步，咱的迄个速度嘛爱调整，这叫做创新。
So our elders before, or our masters, when they want to invite people to receive Tao, they will just walk to where they want to go. But now our Tianchuansis will travel through plane or through through car or other faster means. So it is totally different right now.
那么除了把你根本顾好以后咧，咱嘛爱创造一寡新的机会出来。
So when we have firm fundamentals, we also have to create new opportunities.
唔通就是讲啊，点睛无好啊，就是愈无机会，无一定有时阵吼，危机就是转机。
So we should not think that because of this time of difficulty, we cannot do anything else. But we should think that when there are crises, it will always create opportunity.
上帝一定互咱办到啊甲受到的机会。
Our Heavenly Mother will always give us the opportunity to propagate and to cultivate Tao.
咱来看卖啊，即马点睛真无好，大家拢讲哦，生意就歹做。
So because of these times, people are always complaining that business is really bad now.
啊嘛，毋是逐项物件拢咧啊，拢就歹卖啊。吼，你看卖，就即马吼，迄个老伙仔袂当出去，哦，迄 insure， 迄个人的迄 insure， 生意就好，要买就无地通买。所以有时阵吼，危险的时阵，危险的点睛，定定是一个真好的点睛，真好的转机的点睛。
So we should not say that when people are complaining that business is bad, we will think that all business will be bad. Because in crisis, as we said, there are opportunities like the milk insure. Because the senior people cannot go out and they cannot do exercises outside, so they will resort into buying the milk branded Ensure. So Ensure's business now is really rising up on its peak.
其他像迄个在网络上买卖物件啦，是迄个door to door delivery 吼，即马整理也好。
And also the online business and to the door-to-door deliveries, they are also making good in their business.
但是上要紧咱知影讲，咱的本是啥物，咱要做啥。
So the most important part is that we should all know our fundamentals, our nature, what are we trying to do?
这个本就是每一人的迄个道心。
So the fundamental, as we have said, is our heart for Tao.
咱所听的道理，
The lectures that we have heard
咱所要做的道务，
and the affairs that Tao affairs that we should do,
咱应该学的规规礼则，
and the Tao rules and regulations and etiquettes that we should all learn.
搁有诶上要紧的，咱要甲道务踮诶每一个国家办落去迄个决心。
And our desire to continue with our Tao cultivation and propagation around the world,
包括咱菲律宾啊，
including Philippines.
所以咱一定爱创造一寡好诶机会，不管即马有危险啊无危险，咱就要把握机会，伫安全内底，伫安全内底把握机会，好好啊，甲即个班务，甲迄个要学应该学诶物件，好好来学。
So despite of our times of our difficulties, we should take the opportunity to do what we should do, to learn what we should do, so as to continue with our Tao duties.
甲迄个古早迄个道理参落去迄个新的方法。
We should take the old lessons that we have learned from Tao and mix it into our modern times.
甲迄个传统甲新的甲 mix， 甲下落，但是内面迄个本迄个原心袂做哩变，迄个我袂歹迄个物件袂做哩变。
We should create a mixture of the classic and the innovative ways, but we should be assured, just be assured that the unchanging eternal truth is not missing or is not changed.
所以咱拄下一张投影片，咱就讲危机就是转机啦。伫危险的时阵，上天嘛会一寡互咱转变的机会伫内底。
So we have mentioned that when there are crises, there is also opportunities. That heaven will always provide us with opportunities despite the changes.
亲像咱即马就是因为即个遮尔无好的点睛，咱即马都学晓要安怎踮咧入呢？开班，要安怎踮咧 internet 开班。
An example is that because of the pandemic, we are not able to conduct lectures on a face-to-face basis. That is why we have learned how to use Zoom and to conduct lectures through Zoom.
有的人嘛因为点睛无遐尔无法度行出去咧学。 会晓安怎去用电脑，安怎去用手机。
And also some people, because they can no longer go out freely, they have used the time to learn how to use the computer and to use their cell phones.
所以危险的时阵嘛是互咱机会，互咱真侪机会。
So during the times of difficulties, there are also opportunities for us to learn.
正好紧的，咱 next 下一张下一张投影片，咱来学咱在座大部分是中国人，咱来即摆来看即个物件，看即张投影片内面，正边有一个物件，迄个就是引摆咱中国古早的钱。
So most of us here are Chinese. So let us all look at the picture on the right side. It is an ancient money of China.
这个钱因摆古早的钱，这个钱是迄个铜币啊，用铜落去做金属去做的。伊的外口的是圆的，内底是四角的。
It is an ancient coin of China where the shape is round on the outer side and there is a square on the inside.
伊俩较侪铜钱的时阵，就用一条线还是一条布绑起来。
So when you need to have more money, they will just use a thread or a rope to tie all these coins together.
平即卖迄个铜钱更较好用，因为会做绑做伙。
it is much easier to use than our coins today because you can just tie it with a rope.
所以古早人伊无甲设计讲外口是四角的，内底是圆的。
So why is it that they did not design it to have a square on the outer side and a circle on the inside?
那倒条的时阵我都无法度啊，吼。譬如说啊，这个动线吼，伊有近摆的人咧设计这个动线的时阵，伊有伊的智慧，伊有伊的道理伫个。
So the person who designed the ancient coin has their own wisdom and meaning on why they designed it that way.
钱大家爱吧。
Everyone wants to have money.
但是若无一个智慧伫内底，大家拢会去良心变无去。
But when there is no wisdom in money, our conscience will get lost.
良心可能会无去啊，所以外口啊圆的为什么叫做圆咧？圆咱要画圆要用圆规，圆规的英文叫做 compass， 中文叫做规。
So when we want to make a circle, we have to use the compass. The compass in Chinese is 规, that is why it is called 圆规。
那么咱若要画四角的咧，就是要用尺。
And when we want to make straight lines or to make a square, we have to use a ruler.
咱若无迄个尺，无法度画出四角，为了画四角角画正。
So without using a ruler, we cannot create a perfect square.
所以咱古早人讲吼，无规就无法度画圆，无矩就无法度画方。
So we have ancient people saying that without a ruler, we cannot make a circle. Without a compass, we cannot make a circle. Without a ruler, we cannot make a square.
所以这个 compass 迄个规，甲画迄个四角迄个尺矩，就叫做规矩。
And since circle, we use a 规 to make circle, and we use a 矩 to make a square. That is why it is called 规矩, meaning nowadays it means rules and regulations.
所以咱即马咱家底啦就讲这个人做人真有照规矩。
So when we say a person is following 规矩, it means that he is doing good.
什么叫规矩咧？就是讲咱甲人做人咧甲外口的人做人计较，咱会圆满啦。
So it means that when we interact with people, we have to know how to adjust ourselves.
这个宽以待人，对别人甲 forgive 甲有量的。
We have to be forgiving and lenient when it is when we are dealing with other people.
但是对家己咧爱真严。
And but for our own selves, we have to be strict.
有一寡道德底线咱一定爱坚持。
Because there are bottom lines of morality that we should all abide to.
按照这款的迄个原则咱要行到倒去做生意拢无问题，你甲人计较都无问题。
So using these principles, we can use them, and wherever we go, we will have no problem in dealing with people.
对家己严对别人较有量的
And it is to be strict with ourselves and to be lenient with other people.
叫做外圆内方。
That is round on the outside and square and strict on the inside.
为什么甲人爱圆呢？因为敢若亲像咱咧开车咧一顶车的链若是四角的，一顶车袂叮当的。只有一顶车迄个车链是圆的，一顶车才会叮当。不管是房车也好，还是古早迄个马车也好，链一定是圆的。
Just like a car, when the tire or the wheel of the car is round, it can move the car. But when it is a square shape, we can imagine that it can never move a car.
所以做人圆满的时阵才有法度甲别人互动良好，咱要做的代志才做会落去啦。
So if we know how to communicate with other, our interaction with people can continue and will meet no problem.
但是咱企业的人有诶较好，有诶较无好，有诶较善良，有较无善良。咱袂做咧对迄个品咱较无好诶人，安尼对伊安尼同流合污，对伊安尼坐拖袂做哩，一定要家己有家己诶 principle。
So, because there are different kinds of people, some people are good, but some people are not really thinking of good ideas. So, we have to have our own bottom line and principles so that we will not get lost with our environment.
这个党政嘛要提起咱讲咱君子爱财啦，处之有道。
So this ancient coin also reminds us that each person, a gentleman loves money, but he should take his money through proper ways.
爱嘛按照道理，嘛按照正当的方法。
That he should obtain it through correct ways and means.
咱即摆大家拢是一贯道弟子嘛，咱无会互迄个道场甲咱饲的，咱拢做爱信还兼收。
So as a Tao cultivator, we have to earn our own money. The temple will not give us money in order for us to cultivate. So we have to earn also at the same time while we cultivate.
下一张投影片那么咱来知影讲金钱毋是万能的袂讲遐尔爱钱就是讲金钱是万能的，无钱袂用的，金钱万岁毋是金钱毋是万能的，但是无钱也是真艰苦做代志，真艰苦办道。
So we have to understand that money is not omnipotent. So, but we also have to know that without money, we cannot do anything.
所以咱讲君子爱财，咱要用正当的方法，合乎道理的方法，合乎良心的方法去赚。
So we say that a man admires treasure, but he should acquire it justly.
其實含迄個儒家就甲咱教到咱要安怎存錢啦。
So it is also teaching us how to save money.
講咱要賺錢的人，要賺錢的人，一家內底，還是一個 community 內底，還是講一個 business 內底，賺錢的人愛較多。
So it is saying that in a home or in a community or in a business, the people in it who are earning the money should be more.
食之者寡，食的人愛較少。
But those there should be lesser people in it who are spending the money.
為之者急，要做物件咧，動作愛較緊咧，愛把握迄個時間，袂做互物件歹，嘛袂做收少，才有利潤，才有 profit。
And also, when you are in the production, production should be you should be producing more, so that there will be profit.
愛用物件，愛消耗物件，而且用迄個機械咧，愛好好用，好好maintain，愛用較慢咧，唔通甲用甲安尼，收過甲動出頭，用甲啊緊歹去。
But the people who are using what is produced, they should use them slowly without wasting anything.
你看，咱古早的聖賢遐仁慈悲，含即個遐簡單的說就甲咱教咱安怎做一個踮咧世間有法度顧巴肚，嘛顧不足。
So our sages are teaching us, are very compassionate, that they teach us how to earn, how to spend, and how to use things that we can cultivate at the same time we can live a life.
那么咱人就来讲有一句迄個成語講恁這兩個人半斤八兩，迄形容講兩項代志是相同的。下一張。
So we always hear people that saying that when comparing two people that they are half a kati or one of 6 of 1, it means that these two people are quite the same.
咱常讲这两个人半斤八两啦，半斤八两啦，这个意思就是安尼啦，这个成语就是安尼啦。半斤八两伫咱菲律宾的社会啊，就是讲即摆中国可能无一定知影，毋过伫台湾，讲到半斤八两，大家拢总知影什么意思。
So when we say "puaking puenyu," it maybe people here in the Philippines cannot understand, but people in Taiwan, everyone can understand what it means.
因为台湾国用台湾即马一斤还佫原在10两，半斤原在是8两，台湾国是即款的安尼称法，那么咱张老前人见到迄天有听到迄讲占卜的迄个真贤大帝讲一句话，讲咱若食人半斤，就要害人8两。但听到即句话安尼啦，迄个 moment 伊就wake up 就精神啊，就迄个点钟伊就开始食菜。
So for our Zhang Lao Qianren, on the day when he received Tao, and when he heard the lecture telling him that when you eat half a kati, you will have to pay back 8 taels. So from that day on, he realized that he should no longer eat any meat, any animal meat, and he started to become a vegetarian on that very day.
这个有一个真要份的一个本伫内底这拢甲咱基本的生活有关系，一定有一个基本的道理伫内底。
So there are meanings to what it is, why this is always mentioned.
食饭啦、庆当啦、用钱啦，这拢是最根本的、很根本的咱大家拢要用着，有一个真根本的道理伫内底。
So for what we eat and the money that we spend, there are always very basic reasons that and lessons that we have to learn.
咱古早的称啊是用一支茶做的。
In ancient times, the scale or the steelyard is made of a piece of wood.
你即马甲伊摕去甲迄个阮的投影片，甲伊从下骹迄个称啊遐。把投影片放到对这里因摆的称啊是安尼有一支茶，有一支茶安尼这支茶顶悬的有刻16粒的星星。
So on that piece of wood, there are 16 stars carved on it.
这16粒星星16粒的星星加起来拢做伊的重量是600 gram。
So when we add up all those 16 stars, the weight will total to 600 grams.
因摆古早甲即摆台湾一斤是16两是600 gram 那么这个称啊以外，下口边仔有一个称锤，伊是铁做的。
So the one beside it is made of steel.
伊就是要知影讲称我你到底是几 gram 有一个盘还是一个钩去钩迄款物件。
And there is a hook to hook on the thing that you want to weigh.
所以咱即摆转来拄啊，迄张一张顶一张迄个投影片迄个伊即16星星咧，伊来刻16星星咧，有伊的意思伫个伊咱的迄个北极有7粒星，南极有6粒星，所以北斗7星，南斗6星。
So there are meanings why there are the 16 stars on the scale. The weighing star on the weighing pole evolved according to astrology. The first 6 weighing stars represents the southern 6 stars, and the next 7 weighing stars represent the 7 stars of the Big Dipper.
安尼毋就13粒星咯天顶有13粒星，搁加3粒福禄寿3个星加起来，叫做16个星星16两。
So there are already the 13 stars from the sky on the scale. So it will. So there are also still 3 other stars representing fortune, luck, fortune, and longevity. So total of 16 stars.
这10个星星呢，一定是用白色的还是黄色的擦色粉给擦掉，袂去用红色的。
And these 16 stars will always be painted in white or yellow. It will never be painted in black.
下一张投影片袂用红色，伊就比如甲咱提醒咱做生意咧，一定要公道正直。
So the stars must be in yellow or white because it is telling us when we do business with other people, we should be just, and we do not do business through a bar or through to be a black-hearted businessman.
要称物件的时阵，嘛爱小称家己的良心。
So when we are weighing things that we sell, we are at the same time weighing our own conscience.
有个人做生意无一定爱称的无一定要用着讲咱做生意就是爱安怎，咱做物件品质。
So not all things that we sell are being weighed. So we should know that when we do business, we should do it with our conscience.
你若甲人减斤减两就损咱的阴德。
So when we give shortchange other and we give less of what should be given, we are also destroying our own luck.
减一两咧会损咱的福。
When we shortchange other with one star, we are decreasing our own luck.
减两两咧会伤咱的禄。
When we shortchange other with 2 stars, we are decreasing our power.
减3两的时阵会扣咱的岁数。
When we shortchange other with 3 stars, we are decreasing our own longevity.
个咱福建人讲趁钱叫做趁食。
In Hokkien, we always when we are earning money, we say we are earning something to eat.
迄个下一张投影片叫趁食趁食这个家里趁食这个家里下一张了，下一张投影片。趁食这个家里，咱看卖顶悬一个人下骹一个龙，就是讲。咱要趁食，咱来照良心去趁食。
So in the Chinese word, when we say it is there is a lang, which is a man on the upper side, and a liang, which is our conscience on the lower side, which tells us that when we want to earn a living, we have to do it in a just way.
所以咱不管咱安怎去做大生意小生意当中好。咱就是爱照咱的良心道德，这个良心道德就是咱的本，咱爱把咱的本顾好顾用。
So when we are doing business with others, we have to do it and earn our money according to our own conscience, and that we have to hold on to our fundamentals, and it should be made good.
这是每一个人应该爱做到迄个本分。
So that is something that everyone should know to do.
那么对道场来讲，对一个道义来讲咧，顾本嘛更较重要。
So when it comes to our cultivation, it is very important also to hold on to our fundamentals.
咱来用一张树仔来譬如咧，譬如一张树仔，这张树仔咧就一定要有一个真勇的迄个本才有法度，这张树仔。遐大丛有法度共有一个足大的迄个街道有法度庇佑这个地方，还是庇佑这个国家国泰民安、风调雨顺。
So to take an example, we can we can take a tree as an example, that the tree should have very sturdy roots so that it can hold on to the big and heavy body of the tree, and also to provide shade for the people, and to make sure to take care of its people, and to make sure that the country is prosperous and that the people are living in it are happy and peaceful, and that the weather will be will come and go. Wind and rain will come and go in according to when they are needed.
那么这个所在若有一间道院，这间道院道不办的出去迄个所在完全的愈来愈无送，一直向愈好的迄个方向一直行。
So in a place when there is a Tao temple, in that place, the place will surely prosper, and it will go towards the better end.
那咩顾咱这个道院的本呢？
So how do we hold on to the fundamentals of the temple?
一支茶，敢若一支茶咧，是无法度甲一栋大厦甲伊推起来。
So by using only a piece of wood, it cannot hold on to a big condominium.
拢是爱靠所以每一个道场就是爱靠每一位道村，参像拄因咧下愿要求落雨共款，爱靠每一位道村发愿发心。
So for a temple to prosper, it will need, just like what we saw a while ago, that each and every one in the temple will have to do and make great vows.
我愿意为这个所在我愿意为咱的老前人，为咱的蔡前辈，为咱的五海二顶顶迄寡前贤大德，开创出来这个道场呢，真一份的心力，咱的心力，所以咱讲咱爱愿力在此。
So we have to make vows and be willing to take on the responsibilities left to us by our Tsai Qianpei, our 长老前人, our Tsai Qianpei, our now Wuhan Yi Dian Chuan Si, and all the countless Dian Chuan Sis and elders who have come to the Philippines and to establish Tao temples here in the Philippines. And also we have to take on the great responsibilities. That's why we say we have to make great vows and make them continue to make, everyone should continue to make great vows.
下一章，咱要坚固的本是啥物？咱道场中要坚固的本是啥物啊咧？咱就是爱利用这个疫情的中好好学一寡规礼节，好好学一寡基本的道学，好好学一寡经典。这个这寡物件是永远袂变的，袂因为时间去改变，会袂。
So what basic principles do we need to make firm? So we have to learn properly the Buddha rules and regulations and etiquettes. We have to learn the basic principles of Tao. We have to learn the Buddha scriptures, because these things are the things that will never change.
下一章，咱要创新是要创新什么呢？因为咱菲律宾，咱人话基础拢无真好，所以咱爱学出一套下落的话来互大家道理听有搁用一寡投影片是用一寡道歌互咱大家了解，迄讲是讲什么道理。
So what do we want to innovate? Because here in the Philippines, most of us, we do not have very good fundamentals in Chinese language. So that's why we have to come up with a set of mixed language expressions so that everyone can understand. And we have to use it also to create PTs and also songs so that everyone can understand what the truth is and what is being discussed. And that finally it can achieve the integration of the mixing and matching fusion in life.
用一个混搭甲纠训的方法来了解到底咱古早迄寡圣贤伊要传互咱的智慧是啥物？
So we should try to use a fusion way so that everyone can understand what our saints and sages are trying to teach us.
下一章最后，安尼时阵呢，下一章咱的道母才有法度一代一代传落去。
So only in this way that our Tao affairs can be passed on from one generation to another.
咱即马点钟已经到了，相信因为这个疫情的关系，咱伫internet 内面、伫路内面开班，袂因为讲咱无伫不断的开班，神就袂甲咱加持，但是共款会甲咱加持啦，神一定会甲咱加持，互咱更加有智慧。
So we have to believe that because of the pandemic, we can no longer hold face-to-face lectures, and we have to start doing lectures through Zoom. But we have to be assured that even though we are just holding lectures through Zoom, our Buddhas and saints are also here to teach, to watch over us and to give us more wisdom.
咱利用这个未自由的点钟，好好把咱的根本甲顾好，从好用。那么下摆呢，疫情解决了，咱伫修道办道的路咧，才法度大家手牵手，做伙来护持道场，做伙来圆满咱共同的使命。
So during this time of the difficulties, we have to hold on and to stabilize our fundamentals and basic skills and hold on to our Tao cultivation and propagation. And so that by the time that we can, pandemic is over and we can already go out, our Tao affairs will be going for the better.
有要求进步的道亲，才有一直咧进步的道场。
It is only when there are Taokins who wants improvement that there will be a Tao temple that has that also improves.
咱希望咱大家对头到尾拢有这个作为学习的心，那么咱菲律宾的道务，一定袂去互咱失望。
So we hope that everybody from the beginning up to the end will have a sturdy heart and mind to learn, and rest assured that our Tao temple will also not disappoint us.
安尼今仔日点钟的关系，咱就讲到这，讲了甲无好势的所在咧，请9点传师、第2点传师甲协法圆满，请神父下罪，请各位道亲原谅。
So we have our lecture will be up to this point. We hope that when there are mistakes done, our Zhou Tian Chuan Si and Tian Tian Chuan Si can correct us, and that we hope everybody can pardon us if we have said anything wrong.
祝大家身体健康。
Wish everybody health and prosperity.